Ultimately, I think Moby Dick is a very paradoxical book. It's a book that is so interested in the collection and pursuit of different knowledge. Yet, it's a story that is obviously about the possibly detrimental effects of an obsession with knowledge. It's a book with a bunch of different, very memorable characters, but none of whom are given any sort of interior life, barring Ishmael, who is himself an enigma. It is a book that is deeply interested in what things mean, that is itself unclear in its meaning, but uses symbolic meaning to great effect to show the difficulty of symbolic meaning. It's a book that is deeply sympathetic to the natural world, and a book that glorifies and romanticizes a trade based solely on violence and exploitation of natural resources. It's a book that is frequently interested in the multicultural multiplicities of human society and a globally connected world, but oftentimes those tropes are explored in seemingly unconscious or conscious stereotypical tropes. It is a book that has great respect for religion and clearly derives so much of its rhetoric and figurative meaning from Judeo-Christian imagery, yet also has stunning evocations of doubt and uncertainty. It's a book that has passages which are incredibly uninterested in plot, and passages which are rather intensely action-packed and derive most of their entertainment from the sheer thrill of finding out what happens next. In these senses, I suppose what I love about Moby Dick is its complexity. It is one of the few books that in my mind is not complex because it is trying to be complex, or because it is trying to prove something to someone, or because the writer simply let things get away from him. It seems to be complex because it truly wants to capture the nature of life's complexity, and it won't accept anything less. Anything less, anything reductive, or trite, or rose-colored, or dour, or sarcastic, or overly sincere, any shade of white or black seems utterly repugnant to the insistently and pervasively gray nature of Melville's consistent commitment to inconsistency, to the ambiguous and the unclear. Ahab and Ishmael, by the end of the novel, ultimately give us two perspectives on this attitude of ambiguity. It drives Ahab mad, and it drives Ishmael to brotherhood and sympathy. Neither tries to minimize or eliminate ambiguity. Ishmael's cataloging curiosity seems to be of seemingly equal weight, at least given more chapters, than Ahab's wrestling with the divine and the privileged realms of knowledge beyond man's understanding. But Ishmael's stance is an open and unbounded horizon of discovery, a humility of finding the new and the exotic and the surprising and the exciting. Ahab presents quite an opposite desire to close, to restrict, to cohere all the multifaceted unknowabilities of life into a clear and compelling answer. He seeks the final word, whereas Ishmael seems to revel in the unfinishability of the word. Ishmael's openness connects him with Queequeg. Ahab's desire for closure blinds him to even the softest and most delicate pleadings of Starbuck. In the end, we are left, after reading Moby Dick, more aware of the complexity of the world and more fastened to our fellow man than ever. Part of the pain of reading it is an acute awareness that perhaps we are at sea in this world, surrounded by a blueness that borders on blackness. But if one pays attention to the novel, I think it becomes clear that openness to the novelty and wonder of our strange odyssey on our shared ocean is the only path forward that keeps our ship afloat. The warmth and comfort on our journey is certainly not to be looked for on the horizon. The horizon is for surprises. but our comfort is our fellow journeyers. We hold tight to that truth, and we sail on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next novel.